All right, guys, we're standing here with Shane from 3 Inches of Blood. What's going on, dude?
How you doing, man?
Good, good. Dude, you guys are probably one of the coolest bands on this tour, man. Tell me about your influences, because you guys got that like new wave of British heavy metal thing going on, man. What are some of your influences on it?
Oh, well, actually, you nailed the biggest one is that, like, just that era of metal, late 70s, early 80s. It's almost pre-subgenre metal.
Right.
Almost.
Right.
That's what everyone grew up listening to. That's what we're really into. Dude. And it carries all the way, like, if you want to get specific, like 86, like...
Right.
The Bay Area thrash scene, too. We're really riffy.
Right.
But...
Now, do you find... I'm sorry. You find that the fans, that like a lot of the younger fans that are on this tour, do you find out they're accepting more of you, saying, hey, this is kind of different than the average metalcore type stuff?
Absolutely, because, like, we're one of the only bands on this tour that is kind of doing, like, something that's not related to hardcore music.
Right.
Like, we don't have, like, the later era breakdown thing, which is fine.
Right.
The bands who do that do a great job, but we're coming just from a different angle. And I think the younger kids who didn't grow up on that, this is kind of new to them.
Right.
And what we're doing is getting them jazzed on the shit that we grew up on.
Right.
And it's just high energy, heavy metal, hard rock, like Deep Purple all the way to fucking Slayer,
Right.
Everything in between.
You guys have been doing this for a long time, man. How do you go in each time on a new record? How do you sit down and say, well, okay, we did it this way last time, man. What can we do different this time?
One thing that really works for us is we just sit down, Justin and I, the other guitar player, we just sit down and write shit that we want to hear. Shit that we would want to rock out to if we weren't playing, So it's really easy, Because we get Cam, who has a very distinct voice. If we branch out and maybe do a little different kind of things, each album, when he sings on it, it's got our distinct sound, so... We're kind of lucky in that way. We can just do whatever the fuck we want.
Okay. Now, obviously, on a tour like this, it's a real huge tour. How do you guys have to get yourselves, okay, you've got these big crowds to play to every time. How do you guys get yourself in the mindset when you have to go back to a club show versus coming here and going back and forth? Is there any way that you got to get yourself in a different mindset?
Not really. I mean, it's usually, for me, it's the sound of the room. Like, if there's 20 people in a small club in fucking... South Dakota, or it's a place like this where there's tens of thousands of people, you're going to get the same show from us because this is what we do. Yeah. We're not going to cater, we're not going to do a better show because there's more people.
Right.
So there's pros and cons. Big show like this, lots of energy from the people. Small show, you're face to face with people, and it's we're lifers, man. It doesn't matter what's happening. We'll play a basement show in some kid's house.
Right. That's another question I wanted to ask you. With the way, a lot of the way the record companies are going, a lot of the industry's kind of crashing and falling. Do you see a lot of the bands going back to like the old days about going into the basement shows and then restarting the whole thing?
There's, with underground bands, usually a lot of times anything goes. Yeah. We were in Holland about a month ago and our show got canceled. And we just went around town and found the Dirty Punk Rock Bar and just asked if we could play. And it's, we're not the only band to think of that. That's old school shit. Like, you get to a town and you want to play for the people. But I think it's kind of I think everything's backwards, back to the way it was in the 70s, where live music is how bands make their money, how bands get the music to the people. The days of the video are gone.
Right.
I can swear on this thing, right?
Go ahead, yeah.
There's all these fucking god-awful TV shows on music television. When I was a kid, I'm from Canada, Much Music, that was the Canadian MTV. It was videos all day.
All 24/7.
Yeah. Now you're seeing these giggling rich cunts have their own TV shows. Right. And you know what? There used to be a metal show at least an hour a week.
Right.
I digress a little bit.
Now I think VH1's the only one that's doing that. The old classic VH1.
Yeah,
I think
that's a great channel.
Yeah.
I'll give them that. But I digress a little bit. My point was live music is much stronger, I think.
Right.
With, record companies aren't doing so hot. The age of the video is done, so live music,
We get in debates about this all the time. And I think that a lot of people say, well, the bands don't put out, or no one's really buying the CDs, no one's really buying the albums. But in a lot of the fans' defense, there's not a whole lot of bands out that put out an album, a full album, that you really want to hear nowadays. Would you agree with that? Not all of them, but a lot of them.
I disagree. You've got two things, okay? You've got real, true underground metal music, extreme music,
Right.
which never goes anywhere. It's
Right.
always there. And you have people who are fans of vinyl, people who are fans of just albums, artwork, lyrics, the whole thing. And then you have sort of the popular music,
Okay.
where metal, hard rock comes in and out of pop music. You've got all that Katy Perry,
Bullshit.
all the popular music, pop
Yeah.
music. So I think that there are genuine fans out there who, like myself, who love buying the whole package
Yeah.
from the bands. So I'll disagree that way, but at the same time, I will agree not many people are just buying CDs for the what do you call it? Like just inspecting new music.
Right.
They'll download some new stuff.
Right.
And then like, a band on our level, that works for us too, because if they like it, they'll come to the show, buy a t-shirt, t-shirt turns into money, that shit turns into gasoline, we get to the next show.
But see, a band like you, okay, I understand what you're saying, but a band like you is different because you guys have a different, unique style. You guys are kind of, you're borrowing a little bit from before, but it's also new to a lot of fans. So you guys are giving the fans something different versus what I was trying to say was like a lot of it's the same cookie cutter stuff.
Yeah. I'll agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I'm not, in no way am I patting ourselves on the back. We're putting a new twist on a very old idea.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
been done to death. If we were around 20 years ago, we'd be lost in the pack.
Right.
But I think, you know, fads come and go. It has a lot to do with fashion, with the kids, a very adolescent thing, you know, the popularity contest, the screamy vocals, the quiet sing-song chorus, breakdown. Bands make a career out of that.
Yeah.
Where we've lost and gained fans by doing different stuff. And I just think that you don't get anywhere in life, whether you're a librarian, musician, butcher at the local deli, you don't get anywhere in life if you don't try new things, right?
Right. Right.
So I'll agree with that. The cookie cutter shit comes and goes, but
Okay. All right. 2012. Are we going to be invaded by aliens? Or are we dead?
I'll be listening to 2112 when that happens.
Yes. Yes. That's right. Okay. That's the question. Rush or Triumph?
Rush.
That's true. That's it. That's it right there.
Hey, I like Triumph. I'm from Canada.
Triumph was good, right? I know.
I grew up
But
with
that's what I'm saying. Rush is the answer, man. Rush is the answer.
Rush and Triumph are very two different beasts, where Triumph was doing moves to cater to the people. Rush are one of those bands that never gave a fuck,
Right.
and
You gonna catch him on this tour?
I'm not going to be at home when they roll through my town, but
Yeah.
I saw them in '96, and they actually played 2112 in its entirety.
Yeah,
So
man, that's good stuff. All right, so what's next for you guys, man? What's going on next?
well, actually, after this tour, we have a couple things going on. I can't say because it's either one or the other, but we're going to Japan in October.
How does Japan welcome you guys, man? You big over there?
We've never been over there.
Wow. Okay.
We've got a lot of fans that we correspond with, and our record's released out there, but so we'll see what happens, you know. Very excited to go.
cool. All right. Any last words for your fans?
Thanks for coming out to the shows and partying with us.
All right, cool. And what's 3inchesblood.com, MySpace?
Yeah, if you spell it out, it'll direct you to all that stuff.
All right, cool.
All the social networking business that goes on these days.
All right, it's Shame, 3 Inches of Blood. Check them out. They're awesome. Peace.